It's Monday, October 31st, 2016. This is PSN News. Tonight we'll be taking a look at some Halloween controversy on campus.
We'll also bring you the latest developments in the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Stay tuned for all that and more on PSN News.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Alyssa Gregory.
And I'm Hunter Hulbert.
It's Halloween, and Penn State is addressing the silent elephant in the room, cultural sensitivity and costume choice. Sigma Lambda Beta and Chi Epsilon Sigma opened dialogue Thursday night, encouraging students to use discretion when selecting their costumes. Jerry Igna, Vice President and Secretary of Sigma Lambda Beta, voiced his opinion, enforcing that ignorance is not an excuse to wear an offensive costume that could possibly offend someone. Attendees described the event as informative and eye-opening.
Last weekend, Penn State students took to the streets for the second and final canning weekend of the year. The Daily Collegian reports that despite the conflict with Halloween weekend, most special interest organizations noticed a spike in participation. Some organizations, like Ohana and Monarch, have seen a slight decrease since the first canning weekend in September, but students agree that Halloween has not had a major impact on volunteer turnout. The IFC Panhellenic Dance Marathon's Public Relations Director, Sam Sherlock, said that the weekend was chosen to avoid other conflicts, including home football games, university programming, and other fun events. She also said that the weekends are scheduled before winter weather hits and the latter stages of the semester.
5 Penn State students are safe and unharmed today after being involved in a single vehicle car crash on their way to go canning this past Friday. The Daily Collegian reports that 2 members of the Alpha Sigma Alpha sorority and 3 male students were inside the car when the accident occurred near Lewistown, PA. The driver missed an exit and turned quickly in an attempt to make the ramp. However, he missed. After swerving and pulling over, the 5 students were taken to a local hospital to get checked out. The students then returned to campus later that night. This follows the cancellations of 2 canning weekends last year in order to improve safety regulations. There is 1 final canning weekend scheduled for next fall. However, Thon executives then hope to find safer ways to raise money for the kids. The name of those involved in the accident have not been released.
The grand jury has reached a verdict in the trial between former Penn State football coach Michael McQuarrie and Penn State University. The Daily Collegian reports that on Thursday, McQuarrie was awarded $7.3 million for defamation and misrepresentation by the university. McQuarrie claimed that Penn State ostracized and isolated him after he told Joe Paterno that he witnessed Jerry Sandusky showering with a young boy in 2001. The trial featured witnesses from Penn State's administration and intercollegiate athletics department from 2011 to 2013. Former Penn State presidents Graham Spanier and Rodney Erickson were among those who testified. Judge Thomas Gavin will render the verdict for the whistleblower charge at a later date.
After a lengthy selection process, the class of 2017 Class Gift Executive Committee has decided on a unique and charitable gift: a support fund for Lions Pantry, an on-campus food pantry for Penn State students struggling financially. Lions Pantry is geared to encourage college students to focus more on their education rather than worry about their next meal. President Eric Barron spoke at the Hub reveal, applauding the committee for selecting a class gift that will care for the future generation of Penn State students.
State College Police Department is requesting help from the public in identifying individuals who may have been involved in the downtown riot following the Penn State-Ohio State football game. The Daily Collegian reports that 11 people have been charged in connection to the October 22nd riot, and more are expected in the coming days. On Tuesday, State College Police Chief John Gardner said that 20 streetlights and 5 streetlights were torn down. In addition, numerous fires were set and 1 vehicle was damaged. The total damage from the riot has been estimated at $30,000. If you can identify anyone in this photo or have any information that may lead to an arrest, please call State College Police at 814-234-7150.
Coming up next, Alissa Devine will bring you the latest sports news. Stay tuned.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, by the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Alissa Devine with your sports update. Penn State football is currently sitting at number 20 in the latest AP Top 25 poll after a dominating 62-24 win against Purdue. The Nittany Lions started off slow in the first half and then surged past the Boilermakers with 511 total yards of offense. Saquon Barkley had 277 of those yards to himself with a career high of 207 yards rushing, including an 81 rush for a touchdown. The defense took another step forward on Saturday, being able to shut down Purdue's quarterback, David Blow, in the second half. The turning point of the game came from a defensive end on Brandon Smith interception on the first drive of the second half. After the Lions' fourth straight win, including the Ohio State update and Purdue blowout, Penn State is proving it belongs in the 25 ranking. Penn State is riding high on a new offense that is finally coming together and a struggling defense that has found a way to overcome injuries. As a result, Penn State is ranked for the first time since 2011 and is once again bowl eligible. The number 14 ranked Penn State hockey team swept Canisius this weekend, controlling wins both Friday and Saturday. Penn State extended their unbeaten streak to 5 games after defeating the Golden Griffins 4-1 and 4-2. Special teams was key for the Nittany Lions' success on the ice this weekend. Penn State had numerous power play opportunities on both nights, scoring 2 in the first period on Friday night and a shorthanded goal in the first period on Saturday night. The combination of fast, skillful play from the freshman class and leadership from the upper class helped Penn State push past Canisius. Guy Gadowski praised play and decision-making of Kevin Kerr, who contributed a goal on Saturday. In addition, the freshmen put up points of their own, including Dennis Smirnoff and Brandon Biro. Newcomer Peyton Jones, Penn State's goaltender, stood tall in between the pipes, stopping 43 shots on goal through 2 games. Penn State came out firing, putting up 65 shots on goal in the first game alone and adding 47 shots on goal on Saturday. The Nittany Lions sweep proves yet again Penn State is a force to be reckoned with on the ice. After a rookie quarterback showdown against the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, the Cowboys and Dak Prescott came out victorious over Carson Wentz and his Eagles. Prescott threw for 287 yards for 2 touchdowns and found Jason Witten in the end zone for the overtime 29-23 game winner. This is the 6th straight game Prescott has led his team to a victory. The big question for the Cowboys is whether they should keep Prescott as the starting quarterback or put Tony Romo in when he's healthy in the next couple of weeks. Prescott isn't the only reason the Cowboys came out on top. Rookie running back Ezekiel Elliott leads the league in rushing yards and had about 100 rushing yards against the Eagles. On the other side, Wentz had a respectable showing for the Eagles, throwing for 202 yards and made better decisions this week than he did last week against the Vikings. The Cowboys are now 6-1 and the Eagles are 4-3. In a must-win Game 5, the Chicago Cubs came out with a 3-2 victory over the Cleveland Indians to bring the series to 3-2. No team has come back from a 3-1 deficit to win the World Series since Kansas City in 1985, so it is a very real possibility the Indians will have their first championship since 1948. The Indians were the ones that scored first last night on a Jose Ramirez home run in the second inning. Unfortunately for Cleveland, Trevor Bauer, who had been nearly unhittable for the Indians, allowed 3 runs for the Cubs in the 4th inning. The Cubs closer, Aroldis Chapman, was able to close out the game and struck out Francisco Lindor, who is arguably Cleveland's best postseason hitter so far. As the series is moving back to Cleveland, Game 6 will most likely feature the pitching matchup of Jake Arrieta for the Cubs, who won Game 2, and Josh Tomlin of the Indians, who won Game 3. Just like last night, this is a must-win game for the Cubs to potentially bring the World Series to a Game 7. That's your PSN News Sports Update. Don't go anywhere. We'll have your state college weather forecast after the break.
checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good afternoon, State College. I'm student meteorologist Tony Chivaroli from the Penn State Campus Weather Service, and just going to start you off here by saying Happy Halloween on this October 31st, 2016, shaping up to be a spectacular night for some trick-or-treating for those of you who are going to be out. But just want to pan you back here, just taking you back to Sunday here at 5:30 p.m., just going to roll you through here to show you how these rain showers really cleared out, had some really strong thunderstorms down to our south, affecting cities such as Johnstown, making their way over here to Harrisburg. Did have that severe thunderstorm warning yesterday for those areas. Had some stronger winds, some very strong gusts, some heavier rain showers, and some nice lightning strikes. So southern Pennsylvania really saw some of that yesterday. Not really too much here in State College. Had a stray shower here and there. It was very overcast. But again, that just really moved out. Just want to show you how this really cleared out, making for a spectacular day today and going to be a spectacular night here in the State College area. As I've said, cooler though as it may be, but going to be dry. Not going to need an umbrella going around for trick-or-treating tonight here in State College. But mostly sunny, north wind of 5 to 10 miles an hour, so a beautiful day. 37 degrees, however, is going to be our overnight low. But again, mostly clear, southeast wind of 5 miles per hour. Going to want to have a few extra layers maybe on under your costume if you're going to be out tonight, with those lows getting into the mid to high 30s. Going to be pretty chilly. So just something to watch out for tonight. And your 7-day State College area forecast. Boo! On Monday, today, that should be mostly sunny. Looks like we might have a haunting maybe here in our studio. But again, that high of 53. Overnight low tonight of 37. Going to want to watch out for those lower temperatures. Trick-or-treating tonight. A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow on Tuesday with that high 60. Partly sunny on Wednesday. The highs getting back into the 70s again on Wednesday. That overnight low of 55. The chance of showers is finally back on Thursday with your high of 64. Plentiful sunshine though on Friday. Lows getting back into the 50s with a high of 56. Saturday 57 and Sunday 54 with a mix of sun and clouds. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service and PSN, I'm student meteorologist Tony Chivaroli. Sports is next.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against the wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
With just over a week before Election Day, shocking new developments have come in the Hillary Clinton email investigation, and it has her campaign on the defense. The original investigation into Clinton's use of the private email server was closed back in July, but new emails have now surfaced. These emails were found on a confiscated laptop in connection with an unrelated case involving disgraced Congressman Anthony Weiner. ABC News reports that FBI Director James Comey sent a letter to Congress on Friday saying that the emails on these devices are potentially classified and are therefore pertinent to the Clinton investigation. Clinton held an emergency press conference on Friday and called for the release of all information related to the newly discovered emails. Comey explained in an internal FBI memo that the letter to Congress was necessary to avoid any misinterpretation since he repeatedly said the case was closed. He also said that due to the timing of these new developments, he does not want to be misunderstood.
The Los Angeles Police Department now has a suspect in custody for the destruction of Donald Trump's Hollywood Walk of Fame star. James Otis, the man responsible for taking a sledgehammer and an axe to destroy the star, told CNN his act was for the 11 women who came forward claiming Donald Trump sexually assaulted them. Otis disclosed to CNN that he plans to sell parts of the star and donate the proceeds to the victims of Donald Trump's alleged sexual assault. Otis is being held on a $20,000 bail. The Trump campaign has not given any comment regarding the damaged star.
For the first time, the Supreme Court will be handling what could be a landmark case for gender rights. The High Court will decide whether a female-born 17-year-old Gavin Grimm can use the men's restroom at Gloucester High School in Virginia. This comes after objections from the Gloucester School Board, which says that Grimm must go to the restroom that aligns with his biological gender. This court ruling could help solve other cases like this across the country and set the rules for how schools treat transgender students. The Obama administration has stated that students should be allowed to use the restroom consistent with their gender identity. However, more than a dozen states have put a hold on that directive, sparking protests across the country. For the past 2 years, Grimm has put up a fight against his school, and he believes that they are not accepting of who he is. The Supreme Court will hear arguments in the case this winter. The ruling is expected in June, but until then, Gavin Grimm will not be able to use the boys' bathroom.
Things are heating up over the court's decision to allow the construction of a $3.7 billion access pipeline crossing 4 states. The pipeline is said to be an economic boon that will make America less dependent on imported oils. However, protesters aren't happy with the construction side effects. Thousands are arguing that the construction of the pipeline is damaging to the environment and destructing Native American burial and prayer sites. Despite over 400 arrests since August, protesters have been reported setting 9 cars as well as debris on fire, forcing the closure of Highway 1806. According to authorities, no serious injuries have been reported.
And that's all for tonight on PSN News. Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter at PSN News. Have a safe and happy Halloween.